it's Micah. Welcome back to my journey through the number one hits of the 1980s, and we are up to December of 1982, and we had a 1 week number one with This is Hey Mickey. I mean, is this the wrong video? I hope this isn't the wrong video. The name of the song was Mickey, but I wanted to get the video that was on Toni Basil's music actual channel. There was another video with more views, but we'll see, and I'll edit this down if this turns out to not be the right video. I heard there was a re-release in 2020 called Hey Mickey, and if this is significantly different than the original, or if, hopefully I can detect that it's significantly different, then I will go back and start over. But it just occurred to me that the caption on the screen here says Hey Mickey, when the actual name of the song was Mickey with no hay. Hay is for horses. So I think I've heard this song a million times, and I think it's a straightforward enough song in its arrangement and its delivery that I don't anticipate that I'm going to pick some hidden nugget of engineering or songcraft out of this. So maybe I'm going into this with a little bit of a know-it-all attitude, but I'm going to try to listen to this with fresh ears. And we'll also take a closer look at the video, because I don't know that I've ever really frame by frame kind of just walked myself through the video. I have a lot of extra information that I picked up when I was looking into this song for this video that I'm just bursting to share with you, but in the interest of not boring you right away, I'll choose to bore you later after we've both looked at the video. Hopefully this is the right one. This is Toni Basil. as I was watching that, I realized two things right away. And that was number one, that I never really watched the music video before. I've had it on, I've pretended I was watching the video, but I've never really watched the video before. And that's a little interesting. Well, it's interesting for me because I am a dance person. When I see a video that's heavily choreographed, I tend to be more glued to the screen watching all the choreography. I think that because it was cheerleader inspired, I thought the choreography in this was superfluous, or like I didn't really need to pay attention to it because I was a cheerleader in high school. I know how cheerleader choreography works. It's pretty mechanical and robotic and fake for the most part, and I didn't appreciate really what she was doing with the choreography. And that, watching that very closely together with some of the other information that I've gleaned about the song and about her career, it really makes a lot more sense now. The second thing is that I found it very hard to concentrate on the song because the video, there's a lot more going on with the video to me than there is with the song. The song definitely has its style and its cadence and its instrumentation and its production, but you can pretty much encapsulate that in any 5-second snippet of the song. The song doesn't really go anywhere. It basically restates its premise in 100 different ways throughout the song. The video to some degree mimics that, which makes it a good music video, well suited for the song. It's tonally consistent with the song in every possible way, but because I guess the visual representation of it was more interesting to me. But it is kind of a one-note song. It's so insanely catchy that you kind of don't want to deviate from that one note. I feel like my video did something weird there, but we'll see, and we'll re-record and edit as necessary. So I got a lot out of that viewing of the video. Like the song again is something that I've heard a million times. I basically have that instrumental track in my brain. The vocal delivery, I think we probably, for those of us who've heard the song a lot, it's probably fair to say that we underestimate Toni Basil's vocal abilities, because that type of singing where you're kind of shouting, where you're kind of chanting, where you're kind of singing and emoting like that, it's not easy to do, and it's not easy to do in a controlled way. And I think she really does nail it. So the song is certainly bubblegum. It's certainly pop, but there's more going on there. I'm gonna have to stop saying definitely so much. I just picked that up. So please, feel free to comment whatever you want to. But I know what I'm saying. I hear myself. So what I found out about Toni Basil. Toni Basil was about 37, 38 years old when she recorded this song, did this music video. I don't think most people realize that. Certainly at the time, everyone kind of assumed that she was basically teenage. She was not a teenager necessarily, but she was cheerleader aged, which would mean somewhere around the 20-year-old mark. And she certainly did her makeup and wore the outfit in the pigtails to kind of accentuate that youthfulness. But she was 37, 38 years old, and it makes me wonder, how close was she to being the oldest woman to have a number one hit at that point? Because I do know that when Tina Turner had a number one hit 2 years later at 44 years old, she was the oldest woman to ever have a number one hit. So I wonder if Toni Basil held that record before her, or someone else did, and if so, who was it? Maybe Diana. I don't know how Diana Ross, when she recorded "Endless Love," how old she was. I don't know. But again, but that was just a year before this. So to think that Toni Basil in 1982 was doing this video and she was roughly the same age as Diana Ross, who was a legend at that point, is a little bit mind-blowing if you think about it that way. But so Toni Basil, some other stuff. I did know some things about her, but I learned some new things when I was looking into her career for this video. And she was more or less, I would say, the Paula Abdul of her time. Obviously, there's the whole connection where she was a choreographer and known as a choreographer, but then dabbled in recording and had a massive success. Tony's was a one-hit deal. Paula released 3 albums and had quite a few hits over the course of the late 80s and early 90s. So I would say Paula definitely exceeded her in that respect. But in terms of having a long-lived career where she worked in entertainment as a choreographer behind the scenes and for different musical acts, that part is certainly a parallel. And there's an artistic integrity there. And Paula Abdul is more of a classical jazz dance kind of training, although she certainly has dabbled in lots of other types of dance. Toni was more experimental in nature, and the other thing that hit me like a ton of bricks is that there are some stylistic similarities here in this video to other groups that were around at the time, because she was either friends with or creatively involved with these other people. And for one, she was involved with one of the members of Devo, and she I can't remember the exact details, and I'm not going to look it up right now, but I think she I can't remember, but there was something about there was some creative overlap between her music and her and Devo's. And if you watch this video and you watch a Devo video, you can see the same sort of overly presentational, exaggerated, caricature-like depiction of the character, or what she's portraying in the video. There's the direct camera facing, the very direct, almost comical, or in fact comical, kind of bluntly emotive, cartoonish sort of aspect. And I think that, to me, and forgive me if I'm botching my art terms here, but I feel like it's kind of a pop art type of thing. Like, I think Devo was doing sort of pop art, visual, and in their music as well. And I think it feels like Toni Basil's doing the same thing. She's not really doing a straight up cheerleader impersonation or cheerleader embodiment. She's doing more of a satirical kind of, look how silly this looks, me singing this bubblegum song, and I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm going to be just as cheery and happy as a robotic programmed teenage girl is supposed to be, and going all googly-eyed over the sky. It's a very self-aware presentation, and it sort of holds up a mirror to its subject matter, as opposed to embodying it and fully just projecting it. There's a lot of satire going on here. And it just really dawned on me that if you look at the Whip It video, probably other videos, but that's one song from Devo that I know really well, and you look at the performance style of that, and you look at the performance style of this, and you see the same sort of quirky, robotic, overly presentational, gestural, self-aware kind of staging and choreography. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe she helped choreograph their videos or their performances. The other one that's very interesting is that she co-directed the original video for Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. And if you look at that video, the one where David Byrne is acting completely deranged, again, you can see the stylistic similarities to this video right away if you do that. Now, I think maybe before I was thinking that this is more a product of early 80s quirkiness as opposed to a shared creative vision. But now with more perspective, I can see that this was a definite stylistic choice that was peculiar to just a select few music videos, and it's just that Toni Basil had creative connections to these other folks, and it sort of manifested in that way. the fact that the song went number one tells me that most most people probably weren't really in on the joke about Mickey. Uh, Most people kind of took it at face value as a bubblegum pop uh, hit, and I think Tony, laughed all the way to the bank with that. But I think the whole, I feel like the whole thing is way more satirical than people generally give it credit for being. Um, I mean, if you think about how over the top the song is, it's not a far stretch to understand how it's kind of absurd and presented in an absurd way. Uh, Last thing I want to say here, the choreography here is way better than I initially gave it credit for. Again, because I dismissed it as being just a recycling of cheerleader tropes. But there's some street dancing, there's some breakdancing elements, which is also part of Toni Basil's background as a choreographer. And there's some gestural things going on, some more modern dance items that were going on here that I didn't fully appreciate before. I think I just thought it was her goofing off before, but I do see that there is a method to her madness and that she's really doing some serious dancing here from a technical standpoint, even if she's doing it all tongue in cheek. I also found out through my research that, I guess this is the last thing I'm going to say, that she also choreographed the David Bowie video for Time Will Crawl in 1987, which I remember very, very well. I remember really liking that video because the choreography was so different, and so and the production of the music video was so different. It was almost like a single take of two dancers dancing together, if I remember, in some sort of costumes. It was almost like an earlier version or iteration or a forerunner of Sia's heavily choreographed videos like Chandelier, and the other videos she's had with Maddie Ziegler, where there's like lots of modern interpretive avant-garde type of dance, and so it was just interesting to me that she choreographed this other video that I didn't really associate with her a few years later after this. So I've blathered on enough about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did I draw the right connections there? Is there anything I'm overlooking? Let me know. Until next time, and the next time will be the last number one of 1981 or 1982, whatever year we're talking about. I hope you'll join me for that and go back and look at the other videos from the 1980s and continue this journey with me. And please help me to, as always, make music better.